Good morning. I know nothing says fun Monday morning in rain or overcast than discussing hunger in America. So I thank you for your dedication. Some of you from the restaurant industry, some of you are from government, are valued public servants, and some of you are from the for-profit or nonprofit sector. First, I'm going to introduce Dave Tovar in a minute, but I want to tremendously thank Grubhub for their support of this event and their partnership, and so much they do to support hunger groups. I know they support rescuing leftover food. I know they support the Food Bank of New York City and so many other causes. Just a few words about Hunger Free America. We are a direct service and advocacy organization. Our direct service, we do a lot of work in partnership with the state, OTDA, and the city to help people access SNAP, used to be called food stamps, and WIC, and the new summer EBT program. Every dollar we spend on that generates about $60 of groceries flowing to people, because for now half that's matched by the federal government through OTDA. So it's really by far the most cost-effective way to end to reduce hunger. So we do a lot of work on benefits access. We run a national hunger hotline connecting people with food resources, private and public food resources around the country. Our call volume more than tripled in the pandemic, and still more than double since the pandemic. We have an AmeriCorps Vista program. Some of you know that's sort of a domestic Peace Corps, where we place people with nonprofit groups from around the country to help them build their capacity. And Lindsay's going to talk about this more. We're really pioneers in strategic volunteerism, in where we're saying to people, if you're a doctor or a lawyer, you're a restaurant owner, you're a chef, you're a frontline back of the house or front of the house worker, it's great if you pack pantry bags like an 8th grader might, but if you have professional skills, we can use you much more effectively in the fight against hunger. And we have a brand new project funded by our friends at the Albertsons Companies Foundation. They're a big supermarket chain. You may not know them in New York City because they don't particularly have stores here, but they're funding us to train people for jobs in social services, and particularly SNAP recipients who are able-bodied adults without dependents who have work requirements, who are most likely going to have even harsher work requirements. And so we're helping them get, hopefully, living wage jobs in the social service sector to really build a career so they no longer need these benefits for a lifetime. And let me say, we're going to fight like heck to make sure these benefits aren't cut. Right now in Congress, there are $300 billion with a B in cuts. And we'll talk to the commissioner. I saw the letter from the governor to the Senate Majority Leader talking about in New York State alone, this would be $2 billion in cuts per year. That's billion with a B. And if you don't know what a billion is, it's 1,000 millions. 1,000 millions. And low-income people obviously want more food benefits rather than less, but their dream wall isn't just bigger, better benefits. Their dream wall is entering the middle class and having a secure job that pays a living wage for a lifetime. So we're working on that. And just a few facts about hunger in New York State. Despite the incredible job of our government partners, they're just overwhelmed because of cutbacks in federal funding, cutbacks in emergency SNAP allotments, cutbacks in universal school meals before the governor pushed for universal school meals funded by the state here, cutbacks in the child tax credit. And so New York State, the number of New York State residents without enough food rose 61% from September of 2021 to September of 2024. Right now, according to USDA, about 2.4 million state residents live in houses that can't afford enough food. And that's not people starving to death. Generally, it's people choosing between food and rent, choosing between food and healthcare, rationing food, buying less healthy food, not being able to afford the occasional restaurant treat that most people really appreciate, just to have the basic dignity as human beings. And that's the reality of hunger in New York. About 1 in 5 children live in food insecure households, and hundreds of thousands of working people earn so little they are food insecure. And so that's what the stakes are. We're the only industrialized Western nation of the world that has this level of hunger. And it's because there's the gap between the safety net and wages and the cost of living, and it's that simple. And so we're here today to talk about practical solutions, most of which are already paid for by the federal government, at least for the time being, that we can do something serious about this. And it's really going to take all sectors. It's going to take the for-profit sector. It's going to take the nonprofit sector. It's going to take our partners in government. It's going to take other people in the in this space to make this happen. So we're just so thrilled with the support from Grubhub and this support from the company from top down. And it came all the way from the Windy City in Chicago, a city I understand has sports teams too. So
we do.
Dave Tovar, who's a vice president at Grubhub. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. So Dave Tovar, wow, that's loud. Dave Tovar, I lead communications and government relations at Grubhub. I've been there about 4 years. You're right, I live in Chicago, but I'm a New Yorker. So I was born here, spent the first 30 years of my life here in New York City. So thrilled to be back. My parents still live here. My sister still lives here. So every time I get a chance to come back, I get to see them. And I am a big New York sports fan. So Jets season ticket holder today. Insert joke here.
Key question, is deep dish pizza pizza?
It is a version of pizza, but nothing will beat a New York slice. That's for sure. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about Grubhub. I want to talk about the challenge that we're here today to talk about. I also want to talk about our role in all of that. I think I couldn't agree more. It's going to take everybody's effort to help solve this problem that we're all trying to address today. And then I want to talk a little bit about some calls to action that I think all of us can try to contribute to in this important topic. So, thank you to Hunger Free America for partnering with us today, bringing together such an incredible group of restaurant owners, advocates, community leaders, policymakers, all dedicated to ending hunger in this country. Grubhub and Seamless, we partner with more than 50,000 independent restaurants right here in New York. Hundreds of thousands of restaurants on our platform nationally, but 50,000 here in New York. But we're more than a food delivery app. We take very seriously our commitment to tackling food insecurity. Closing the hunger gap has been a staple of our corporate philanthropy program, which is led by Brianna, who's here today, so hopefully you all get a chance to meet her. It's been a staple of our corporate philanthropy work through initiatives such as our Full Plate New York City micro grant program. We've also supported sensible public policies such as the Food Donation Improvement Act and advocated strongly for life-saving programs like the Emergency Food Assistance Program, WIC, as well as several programs here on the ground in the communities we serve, such as SNAP's Restaurant Meals Program. But this work wouldn't be possible without support from organizations like Hunger Free America and advocates like all of you that are here today. So let's talk a little bit about the challenge. Food insecurity is about more than missed meals. It impacts a family's health, a child's ability to learn, and even limits economic opportunity. And the people that are, and this was something that was really eye-opening to me as I got more involved in this. Before I was with Grubhub, I spent a couple of years at McDonald's. Earlier in my career, I was with Walmart. Before that, Kraft Food. So I've been in the food space for a long time in my career. But what was so eye-opening to me is that people who are suffering from food insecurity in this country are not traditionally what you might think. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're coworkers that show up to work every day and in your offices. And oftentimes they don't know where their next meal is coming from. And that's really scary to think about that. Food insecurity can be felt long-term, creating barriers that can persist for generations. Think about this. Just in New York City alone, more than 1 million people experience food insecurity. And nationally, that number rises to over 47 million. Post-pandemic, access challenges have evolved. Inflation, supply chain disruptions, and the end of emergency benefits have left many families even more vulnerable than before. And new challenges require new solutions. And we believe that restaurants are an underutilized resource in the fight against food insecurity. That's why Grubhub works hard. Hand in hand with food banks and community organizations such as the Food Bank for NYC and our restaurant and delivery partners to get nutritious meals in the hands of the people who need them most. Through initiatives like Grubhub Serving the City and partnerships with local food banks, pantries, and restaurants, we've distributed over 425,000 meals and more than 556,000 pounds of food. We've also recovered and redistributed more than 1.83 million pounds of food through our partnerships with Rescuing Leftover Cuisine and foodrecovery.org, food that would otherwise have gone to waste. And beyond this direct support, we also use our voice at the federal, state, and local levels to advocate for strong, inclusive policies that address hunger at its root. And so just in conclusion, solving hunger isn't any one organization's job. It takes a village: nonprofits, the private sector, policymakers, restaurants, and community activists. And Grubhub is committed to this fight, and we're eager to continue teaming up with our partners and anyone else ready to roll up their sleeves and stamp out hunger for good. Thank you again for Hunger Free America, for your leadership, and for creating space for these important conversations. Together we have the tools, the reach, and the momentum to make change happen. So let's keep pushing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Dave.